Hello everyone, my name is Christian Gonzalez. It is March 31st and it is week 4 of Anatomy and Physiology at Los Angeles Pacific University. This week's video topic is rather cool. We are going over the skeletal system, so just kind of touching base on what we'll be discussing. We'll be discussing the 4 various shapes of bones found within the human body. So those 4 bone shapes are long bones, short bones, irregular bones, and flat bones. Pretty simple. Kind of how we classify long bones is essentially their length is greater than their width. Short bones, their width are relatively equal to their length. Irregular bones have, notches, grooves, sort of, crazy little, etched out shapes. And then flat bones are rather thin with a large surface area. So kind of just to give more of a visual, let's go to our trusted friend Rupert. Everyone, this is Rupert. Hello everyone. He has graciously donated his time and energy to Science Today. So we will be depicting all 4 of the various shapes of bone on Rupert here. Okay, so let's first start out with long bones because I feel like that's the easiest one. So when we're talking about long bones, an example, as we can see here, is the humerus, right? So we see the length is greater than the width of the bone, right? Another example of a long bone here is the femur, right? So here, again, we have length greater than width, right? Showing that both of these bones, both humerus and femur, are prime examples of long bones, right? Moving on to flat bones, which would then be the next easiest example to explain, we have the skull, which is a primary example. It's relatively flat, large surface area, all of that stuff. Okay? This is the skull, flat bone, right? And then we also have another prime example in the sternum, right? So sternum, again, very flat, surface area, nicely done. Rupert here has a little notch in it, but for our purposes, this is a very flat bone, right? Going now into the next, which would be the short bones, right? So we have the carpals in the wrist here. So we can see that their length is relatively equal to their width, as we can see there, right? And then another example of this would be the tarsals, right? So the tarsals, again, length relatively equal to the width, right there. And then finally, we can go into irregular bones. So irregular bones, have those weird sort of notches, grooves, all that stuff, as you can see here in the vertebrae, right? So the vertebrae are prime examples of irregular bones, right? Another prime example of an irregular bone is the sacrum. So the sacrum is an irregular bone as well. It's got a lot of notches, grooves, holes, all that good stuff, right? And that basically covers the 4 shapes of bone, right? Again, we have long, flat, short, and irregular. Thank you, Rupert. I appreciate your time. It's been great, man. On to another video exercise, maybe next week. That's all, guys. Appreciate your time. This is, again, week 4, Anatomy and Physiology at Los Angeles Pacific University. Stay tuned for some more content coming soon.